Alan and Margie Lundy, being able to just sit with them and talk side by side. I hope that there's a few of you on here that would like to go. It's gonna be the qualifications are last year we're integrated national and above. Could be global this year because Optavia is growing so fast right now. It's such an exciting time. You guys, we're over $500,000 gross volume this month already for our whole organization. That is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So it's just growing so fast. This is our best month ever. And as I look over all of our months from the last few months or a few years, it doesn't stop until June. You keep growing until June. As long as you keep your foot on the pedal, you will keep growing. June might have a little slowdown. That's what my record has shown. But if you keep going, September comes, October comes, it picks right back up and just takes off again. So don't quit. They talked about on the call just a second ago. There is a Dr. A is hosting a call for everybody tomorrow. It's for anybody. You can invite your friends, family, whoever, clients. They're doing a call tomorrow. They're doing a trilogy call. Everyone is invited. I put this on Jocks Lundy's. I just barely put it on there, so you might want to run over there and grab it and put it on your page. Anyways, that just was announced just a few minutes ago. So put that out there for all of you guys. So today, I'm trying to stop sharing my screen. Today, we have a special guest today. I'm going to actually let Alan come on and introduce our guest speaker today, though. It's all yours, Alan.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Super excited about Wendy. Most of you know Wendy. She's been around for a while. She's kind of my right-hand man in our organization. She does so much for us, way above and beyond just partnering with us as a health coach. She's highly active as a moderator and administrator on our current page. It just does so much for everybody. So Wendy, if you're live with us, why don't you come on and give us some awesome training?
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, because I noticed my camera's lagging a bit and I look like I'm trailing every move I make. I just wanted to make sure you could all hear me okay. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Margie, and thank you, Hiram, for pushing me way out of my comfort zone and asking me to do this, because my goodness, if you could feel my heart pounding right now, it is like pounding a mile a minute. This is really nerve-wracking for me, but things don't grow in comfort zones, so that's why I've accepted this challenge. And thank you for that. Anyway, so Hiram asked me to talk a little bit about social media, and that's kind of like where I like to shine, is on social media. I feel like it's a way that we can be a beacon of light and hope to our audience, our friends and followers. There's so much darkness and political agendas and negativity and, people pointing fingers at people and just yuckiness on social media and out in the world today. But I think we really have a great opportunity to set ourselves apart from other, direct marketing people and really, have an opportunity to show our hearts to our friends and followers. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, because that's, I think, what we really need to be doing. Not so much, we're not product pushers. We are hope dealers, and I really love that. So we really need to let our light shine. And when I say our light, like, that's your heart, and that's authentically you. I noticed, like, my business growing when I stopped trying to mimic other coaches. I love the other coaches' posts, and they're very inspirational and motivational, but their words are their words and they're not my words. So, you know, I used to get sucked into the post that other coaches were doing, and then I would start following and, you know, and kind of getting sucked into their lives and what they were doing, and wasn't really focusing on what I should be doing. And so when I stopped following coaches, now I'm still friends with coaches and I still, you know, encourage their journeys and still, you know, interact with them. But I try not to follow them because then they take up my news feeds. And the less that I'm seeing people that really need our help, the less I'm able to help them. So when I stopped following the other coaches, I noticed that my news feeds were getting filled up with people that were really needing me. And I was able to interact with them more, you know, heart to heart. You know, when people comment on your post, what are you doing? Are you commenting back or are you just liking it? You know, social media is social and we need to interact with our friends and our followers. That's what social media is. And when we're not interacting and we're just liking, you know, that's nice, but people, you're not connecting with people. I went to a Women's IF gathering at my church over the weekend, and they said something that was so awesome, and I want to tell you guys, if I can find it in my notes. Bear with me, and please give me some grace, because like I said, I'm really horrible at public speaking. Okay, so this quote was amazing. It's about the social media generation. This generation that's being raised up is the only generation that has been raised up on social media, you know, completely on social media. They are everywhere, but nowhere. Talking to everyone, but not connecting to anyone. You see what I'm saying? Social media has allowed these people to make friends, but they're not really connecting as friends should connect. And that's where we can really set ourselves apart. You know, we're not just on social media to, you know, be a presence on social media or to make fake friends. We are actually there to be relational and to connect with our peeps. You know, that's the way we're going to be able to find out their whys. You know, when somebody comments on my post, I'll always comment back. I'll always reply. I'll thank them foremost for liking my post or commenting. I always thank them. I always, like, you know, try to find out something about that person that is unique to them, or maybe we have a common ground. I'll always go to their profile page and do a little bit of research on that person. It gives me a little bit of insight into maybe what they need. Not so much, you know, assuming what they need, but it does give me a little bit of a background on that person. And then when I'm messaging that person, I have some common ground to talk about. I'm not going to message them, hey, how you doing? And then when they respond, I'm doing well, how about you? Oh, I'm great. Have you heard about Optavia? No, don't do that. I've had so many people do that to me. You know, they're like, oh, have you heard about these IFM grants? No, and I don't really care to. Have you heard about this newest wrap? Makes you like lose 10 pounds in 45 minutes? No, but I really don't care to. I thought you were trying to connect with me as a friend, not try to push your product on me. And that's where we are really able to set ourselves apart. And I love that about our community, because we actually do care about people, and we care about having relationships with them. And it's about forming relationships with them before we even start mentioning Optavia. And a lot of times if they're coming to us, it's because they've been watching us and they already somewhat know our story and what we're doing. You know, so anyway, I don't want this to be like a lecture, and I don't want this to be like a training. I really just want us to come together as a team and maybe share some ideas, maybe some things that you've seen some good traction on when you post something. You know, I just want people to come off mute and share their heart about what's worked for them and kind of just do that. But I know, you know, for me, it's what's worked for me is I've seen a like double in my business when I stopped trying to mimic other coaches and just authentically and being me. I like to share my life and allow other people to follow my life. Not just my health journey, but, you know, see a little bit insight into my heart. Not just my light, but my dark areas too. You know, I'm a real person and I have flaws. And I feel like if people see that in you, they know that you're real and they can identify with real and they can identify with hardship as well as joy. So, I mean, we just have to let them see all of it. You know?
I love that, Wendy. I love that you're saying be real, because that's really what we want, really. Anyways, we do need that. We need to make sure that we're not being somebody else. That though there are posts that other coaches are always on, that always put, I mean, I try not to follow as many people as I can, but there's also a lot of people that I need to keep track of. But on the other hand, I get to pick who I surround myself with. If I want to surround myself, I can't help a bunch of other health coaches. I mean, I do, but I also want to make sure I'm helping a lot of other people. And just as Wendy said there, you've got to be real. You've got to be you, because if you're not you, everybody else is going to know that you're just copying and pasting.
Absolutely.
So there's times. So let me put this out to the field. When is appropriate to maybe do a copy and paste post? When would you say? Mel?
I would say when you find one or come across one that really speaks to you, or you think would speak to a client or a potential client. And I also think don't just share it. You know what I mean? You copy it and then add a little bit. Take away some stuff on there and add your own little spin to it. And post the picture. I think it's okay then.
And I think that's what Wendy's saying, isn't it, Wendy? It's okay to be able to copy a picture from somebody else, but just don't copy and paste word for word, because you're losing the value of that post.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what about like posts that just get people action on your own Facebook page? We did one today that was super fun. The Like a Boss one. Have you guys ever seen that one?
Yeah.
And Renelle, she left work like a boss. I mean, she ruled leaving work. Who else did one? I know Rochelle did one too on there. Anyways, just something like that that's fun. But you know what? You can copy that picture and put your own words on there and make it yours. So we're not saying all of a sudden you have to do all your own work all the time. We have that Jock shareable post. It's there for a reason. Just make sure that you're making it your own.
Right.
So how many times would you guys say is too many times to post in a day? It's probably a trick question.
I have noticed that when I post something like every hour, I don't get as much traction on those posts. But when I'm spacing them out maybe 2 to 3 hours, that's when I'm noticing a difference. I'm noticing a more volume in comments. And of course, that's what we want. We want people commenting and interacting. And I'm also noticing more likes. And here's another good point. Ask questions. People love to offer up their opinions, and people love to answer questions. So if you can, come up with a creative way to like ask a question, or get somebody's opinion on something. If you're, having a fancy dinner coming up and you want, a nice dress, just put up a couple different options and let your audience choose for you. Not necessarily choose for you, but let them think that they have an opinion in that. And they appreciate that. You know what I mean? I mean, you could still choose for yourself, absolutely, but you know, you're allowing them to feel like they have a say-so, and that makes them feel good. So yeah, definitely interactive posts are awesome to generate lots of comments and likes. And I've noticed too that when I do an interactive post that generates maybe 150 comments and you know, like 200 likes or whatever, that next post, I'm going to put a transformation picture up. I'm pretty strategic in the way I do my post. So, you know, I'll do fun posts, I'll do funny things, and then I'll do an interactive post that I know is going to get a ton of attention. And then boom, I'll do a transformation picture of one of my friends or co-coaches or myself. So I know it's going to, you know, be seen.
I love that. That's a great one. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that there's like lots of algorithms with Facebook, and they kind of they dictate who gets to see who? You might have 500 friends, but you probably only half of those, or maybe a quarter of those, actually even see your post unless they go straight to your page. So what Wendy's doing is she's messing with the algorithms. All of a sudden, these people are commenting on your page. That means Facebook's going to hook you two up because you're interested in each other's life. And if all of a sudden you throw a transformation picture out there right after that, Facebook is going to hook you two up. So it's a great way at that point to be able to do that. Tony.
So one other tip with that. Sorry, 1 second. Shut that door. Real life here. One other thing too is if you love a post rather than like it, and then you always comment back, like Wendy's saying, always comment, even if they're like, good job, you just say thank you. Loving a post and loving a comment and commenting back will actually bump up that into the feed a little bit better for you too.
How's that go? Give them a heart. Oh, there we go, like that. There we go. That's a lot better than my upside down heart.
Yeah, a little bit.
I totally went live today, bicking my head. Did everybody care about that? No, but you know what? There was a lot of conversation going on there. It was fun. So I think we should all make a goal to bick our head next week. Everybody up? Margie?
Yeah, I don't think that. I'm going to skip it. I don't think Wendy should because she has awesome hair tonight. So I don't think she should.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, you should do it because you have awesome hair tonight.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Just save it for the likes or the love.
All right. So let's do the last 4 minutes here of Stump the Expert. So everybody stump. Bye, Rochelle. Everybody, it's Stump the Expert. Ask Wendy any question you want on social media.
Oh, goodness.
I wanna ask her.
Tony, you probably know more than I do.
No, I don't. No, seriously, like how many times are you posting on average per day?
Okay, so, well, I always try to do the 3-3-3, of course. And then I do a 5-in-1, and I don't really hear us talking about 5-in-1 other than our diet plan, but not a diet lifestyle, sorry. Okay, so for every 5 posts, and I'll literally count up the posts. It's funny. For every 5 posts you do, make one of them about health. I don't want to beat my family or my friends or my followers over the head with health posts. They get tired of it if you're making every single post about health. You know, I try to mix things in. I try to make fun, funny posts. I like to, do an interactive post. I like to, put a family post up there, let people, see my kids and my family life. And then, maybe do something about fitness, maybe do, food. People love food. You can always tie that into health, but you're not beating them over the head with it, and people love healthy recipes. And then that's when I'll come in with a transformation. So I always make sure I'm doing 5 posts and making one like a transformation photo. So that's just my strategy. But that was just a strategy that's been duplicated, from down to me from Hiram and Tiana and Alan and Margie. So I just listen.
The best part of this program is 5 and 1. Everything in this program is 5 and 1. If you think about it, it's 5 and 1 to get your health journey going. It's 5 and 1 to get your business going. It's 5 and 1 to get your coaching going. Really, I mean, just remember those numbers. I love that, Wendy. That's perfect.
And also, Tony, when you asked me specifically like about how many posts I'm doing a day, so like I said, I don't like to typically throw up a post every hour just because I think it gets a little redundant and people stop like noticing me. But so I at least do the 3 and 3 and 3, but most of the time I'll actually end up with like 4 or 5 posts.
Okay, thank you. That's perfect. And I just to kind of like throw a little testament into what Wendy said, I always do a really interactive post or like a throw in a transformation after that too.
Awesome.
We were all hanging on every word you just said, Tony. Just waiting to hear what it was. No, you were breaking up at the very beginning, so nobody could hear. So you were building us up the whole time.
Ari, can you hear me now?
A little bit. We got what you said though about doing the interaction posts and then do a transformation. Okay, 1 more minute. Who's got the question that's going to stump the expert? We got a lot of newer coaches on here. You can come off and ask questions.
Oh, Hiram.
Yes.
I forgot to mention one thing. That's super important.
You got 1 minute.
I'll stump myself, okay?
Okay, let's stump yourself.
All right, so you guys, it's super important to expand your circle of influence, right? And a great way to do that on Facebook is to find a common interest group, something that you really enjoy. I mean, like maybe stay-at-home moms. You know, there's so many stay-at-home mom groups that you can get into and expand your circle and start interacting in that group and making connections. And that's just one way that you can expand that circle. But there's so many different groups out there that I'm sure you can find a common ground with. But search it out, join them, start interacting with them, and my goodness, you will just boom. You'll see a definite boom in your business.
That's exactly right. We get paid. We're not health coaches. We don't get paid. Well, we are health coaches. Let me reiterate that. We get paid though to make relationships with people. If you can be relational and you can make relationships with people, the trust comes. They're going to come to you one way or another. Wendy, thank you so much. It was good to see your smiling face. Good to hear your voice. You're amazing, everybody.
Yeah, and that wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be.
We're all
just to show if you step out of your comfort zone, you can get through it.
I'll make sure you get out of your comfort zone. All right, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.